Welcome to Scorched Earth and a general reading for the sign of Sagittarius, Sun, Moon or Ascendant for the last 2 weeks of October. I hope you are. I'm using the Wild Unknown for you today. That's the one that wanted to jump out. So, do I have anything to tell you? I don't. I structure these differently to the main monthly readings, in so much as we are looking for the lesson. I believe there is wisdom or a lesson contained within every experience, every interaction that we have. And sometimes we can lose sight of that. So as an exercise in perspective, it's trying to work out why you are where you are right now. So to that end, what I would do is pull 3 cards for your current energy and see where you are. Okay? And then we will pull 3 cards to see why you are there. It's a way of navigating through what can be challenging energy sometimes. I found it very successful for me, so this is why I'm doing it for you. Sometimes it's trying to teach you something about yourself, trying to give you some sort of insight into, who you are a little bit more deeply. Sometimes it's about paving the way for what's trying to come through for you, We won't know until the cards hit the table. And then we'll get 3 cards of advice and see if we can't help ease your way just a little bit, right? I hope that makes sense. Bear with me if it didn't, because I'm sure it will in a minute. So, could I have 3 cards for Sagittarius' current energy, please? 2 jump out together there. We've got the 3 of Cups and the Ace of Wands. We have the Page of Wands there. And Sag, please. We've got the Mother of Cups. This is quite interesting. It's kind of fiery, but it's kind of soft at the same time, because we're flanked either side here, Sagittarius, by these water cards, 3 of Cups and Mother of Cups here. But as an energy that you're in, it's like that incredible Sagittarian enthusiasm and drive and motivation that's somewhat softened at the edges by the emotions that you are experiencing at the moment. Now, this Mother of Cups is kind of pointing her wing back here at this Daughter of Wands, or the Page of Wands as it is. I'll have to open the window again, otherwise I'm going to suffocate. Oh, there we go. Just for a minute or two. Both the Ace of Wands and the Daughter of Wands being the Page, and therefore being the first level of the court hierarchy, they indicate new direction, at least for me. Daughter of Wands stages is where there is excitement about the possibility of doing something new, rather than the movement itself. We see the movement in the night, which is also Sagittarius. But this Ace of Wands is like a flash of creative brilliance. It can be new ways of living as well, but I get the feeling that you're being a lot more sociable, Sagittarius, than you have been for most of this year. The people that are important to you, you're making more of an effort to spend time with at this point. And it seems to be giving you a bit of your vim back. Not that you lost your vim particularly, It feels like you're experiencing life differently. That's the best way that I can put it. Because you've done so much work on yourself this year, on facing your demons and looking at your emotions and all those kind of things. You've really come to a level of achievement with this, but it's quite subtle, as well as being quite explosively Sagittarian, in so much as it's almost like there's a new layer of life that you've suddenly become aware of and are able to access. And like I said, it's kind of subtle, but you're living differently now. Your emotions are allowed to form a part of the relationships that are around you. And there's nothing difficult in that for you. There's no sense of needing to run for running's sake. We've got the Judgment card at the bottom of the deck here, and the 6 of Cups is directly behind it. And Judgment can be a difficult card. It can talk about you know, old situations coming back, and I would be remiss if I didn't point out that we're still very much in the grip of Mercury retrograde as I'm reading here, and will be for another 2 weeks after, I think it's the 18th, that it goes direct in the UK, as that energy is winding down. But I don't feel that that necessarily is an issue, or even really that much of a big deal for you. But judgment can be exactly that, you know, making judgment, needing to make decisions and use your judgment to do that. We've got the Six of Cups behind, which is the past, certainly, but it can also be children or even your childhood, you know. But there's a sense of you elevating above that which has maybe been nibbling at your ankles for a while. That's the best way I can describe it. Just kind of holding on to things. It's like you're exploding up vertically, actually, Sagittarius. I don't know if you can see that there's a big white bird there. Yeah. And I think this is wonderful because in a lot of respects, you kept yourself down for a very long time. This year's all been about exploring the obvious, which is the ways that other people kept you down, but then the less obvious, which is the ways in which you contributed to that too. You know, the ways that you allowed yourself to be kind of shoehorned into a corner, and then you just got on with it because you're very resilient. This sees you breaking away altogether from the past, patterns of the past, conditioning of the past, and exploding out, but not in that creatively destructive way that we are used to Sagittarians sometimes conducting themselves. No, more, it is tempered by good relationships that are around you, that feed your soul, because we see them here, you know. But this emotional maturity about where you're going next, and it does look like you might be changing direction ever so slightly, Sagittarius. You know, you're quite fleet of foot and you are adaptable. But this does look like you might be going in a slightly different direction anyway. Do I want to tell you? Do you know what? I'm nosy. I need to look at this Daughter of Wands and see why she's here. Tell me about this Daughter of Wands, please. What the fuck? I'm not taking all of those. Behave. Right. Just one or two cards would be fine, please. Why is the Page of Wands here, please? They're all flying out backwards. About the Daughter of Wands. Enki. Got one. We've got the Fool. Daughter of Wands, please. We've got the Fool and we've got the Nine of Cups. Sag. So, wherever you are right now, whatever there is about your situation that is Seven of Pentacles-esque, it looks like you're about to canter off in an entirely different direction. Or maybe slightly different direction, but headed towards a new start. I mean, look, we've got new starts everywhere here. And happiness, right? Nine of Cups is taking responsibility for your own happiness and your entire emotional well-being. And everything that I'm seeing here is leading me to believe that whatever work you've done on yourself this year, I mean, I feel like you're just happier generally altogether, but it's taking you in a direction that will lead to this. There's trust here. I'm going to see that with the Fool. Absolutely trust here. But there's a really solid, mature grounding emotionally for you in where you are going. There's no sense of you running away from anything, and to be fair, Sagittarius, that's been a lot of your life has been kind of running away from certain things, just moving for the sake of moving. I feel like you're much more discerning about these things now. I think the Queens are all very discerning energies, and so whilst you've got that Sagittarian, like I said, enthusiasm, spontaneity almost, it is tempered by these relationships, and I don't feel like many of them are new. This is the interesting thing. I feel like these are established relationships that you are finding a new level of value in because you are showing up for those relationships differently. Take two. window. Cauldron's cold down, so I'm not going to not going to suffocate. It actually feels like there are quite a few things that are going on at the same time here. Perhaps a lot of stuff that's going along in the background. Because we have these major arcana cards sitting, you know, underneath the main cards of the reading. But where you're going, you only get to go because of the way that you've changed your emotional outlook, you know, your emotional framework. The universe is listening and the universe is getting ready to respond. And so you should be prepared for it, I guess, right? Why is Sagittarius here, please? We've got the Nine of Cups. We've got the Son of Cups, which is the Knight in a standard deck. One more for Sagittarius, please. Thank you. And we've got all the cups. Eight of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck here. It's that work. But it's the emotional work. Now, look at this. This is an emotional stability that a lot of people would not associate with Sagittarius a few years ago. And I don't mean to diss you when I say that, but like, I think we have a relationship now, right? You and I. I've seen what you've been doing. I've seen the work that you've put in. And I'm seeing the benefits coming here for you. You know, we all have our own shadows, and you have not faltered when it's come to facing your own. And you know, I always associate the Magician with Sagittarius, like low-key, quietly, and I don't really know why. But there is something very magician-like about Sagittarian energy, right? You need something, you manifest it. That's just the way that it goes, right? And it's almost something that you don't need to think about, and that's quite likely why it's so successful, right? It's just there. You need the thing, you go out and work for the thing, or you get the thing, or you know someone who can put you in touch with someone who has the thing. You know, it works very well. Emotions have been a bit of a minefield for you, for a long time, but what I'm seeing here is a level of alchemy, actually, Sagittarius, which is interesting because your card is temperance. It's about, you know, literally tempering things, bringing things into balance, bringing things into alignment, into harmony, healing that which needs to be healed, and taking painful experiences and turning them into something that is positive and healing. Well, that's what you've done here. Nine of Cups, again, it's sometimes called the wish card, but it's about you feeling your happiness. It's not about you outsourcing it to anybody else, and it's not about you depending on anyone else to make you happy. It's being entirely self-generated, and you know how to do that now. It's not one of those, you know, kind of tricksy intellectual positions where you can see other people doing it and you're like, how the fuck do they do that? I don't really understand. But you know, you get it now, right? Entirely self-generated. And well, look at this, we've got the Sun and the Mother and the Father of Cups. You know, you've got Knight, King and Queen of Cups, and this covers just about the entire gamut of the ways in which emotional energy can turn up for you. I mean, like, it is possible that these might be other people, but I'm not feeling it as I'm sitting it here. This is all you, Sagittarius. So, your ability to receive has been magnified to the nth degree now. This is something that you are now comfortable with. But your ability to give is growing and maturing too. Complete emotional balance, and that discernment comes in because you know instinctively who is worthy of this attention of yours and who is not. And it's about, you know, I'm going to put it here and that's okay, and I'm put it here and that's okay. And if this person pisses me off, if this person's doing something that I don't like, well, I'm just going to move away from that. That's fine. And I'm not going to take anything from that and internalize it and use it as a stick to beat myself with in future, you know? I mean, you know, there are also shades of it being important that you know where to put your energy and what to concentrate on, all that sort of thing. But I think it's just showing you the value of working at your emotions primarily, and then latterly how you interact with everyone else. Like, everything feels very shiny around you at the moment, Sagittarius, and I really like that. Let's get some cards of advice, although you don't really seem to need it since you're, you know, now like a bomb-ass alchemist and shit. Some advice for Sagittarius, please. We've got the Page of Pentacles, 5 of Wands, and the Son of Swords. Oh, okay. So the Page of Pentacles, much like all of the pages, and you've got the Page of Wands there already, is that slight shift in direction. And it would be a shift in the direction of where you are putting your energy at the moment, because we've got a pentacle, and pentacles are energetic currency, like, you know, give and take from other people. This sees you taking your pentacles and putting it in a slightly different direction, but also understanding the value of what it is that you're doing, the value of your plan, the value of you, and whatever purpose it is that you have here in this incarnation. Because I think you're getting a much stronger idea of why you are here. And there's some groundwork to be done. But I would be aware of tensions arising in the next couple of weeks. I mean, I know astrologically there's an awful lot of stuff going on, and Mercury retrograde is here and stuff, but it's doing some merry dance with Mars at the moment in Libra, and that can make people very snippy. And that might make you quite snippy in some ways. Because I don't think, you've always had a low tolerance for bullshit, right? But I think where you see people giving out bullshit, and there are lots of them at the moment, I think it would be very quick to come back. You would be very quick to come back with some sort of saggy reply, which is going to be blunt as fuck, but also, you know, mortally wounding. If you can find it in yourself to try and keep those to yourself in the next couple of weeks, I think that you will be much more successful in anything that you're doing than just firing something straight back, you know. Tell me about this 5 of Wands. Oh, floated off there. 3 of Pentacles. 4 of Cups. Yeah, I mean, it feels like in the first instance, the snippiness is actually coming from other people. And these are people that at this point you kind of need around for now, but not for much longer. Right? The 3 of Pentacles indicates that there is some level of cooperation necessary, right? So it could be anything, right? It could be exes, it could be, you know, whatever. There's some sort of shared thing between you, and there is tension coming around that. But whatever way that tension manifests itself for you in the next couple of weeks, what it's important to know is that it's not about that thing, right? It is not about that thing. It's about something else altogether, because we've got this 4 of Cups here, right? And that is a card of rejection. That is a card of somebody who is feeling kind of emotionally done over. And so I think that you might find people picking fights with you in the next couple of weeks, Sagittarius. And what you're being asked to do is really draw on all of this emotional maturity and this emotional wisdom that you now hold, and see it for what it is, rather than what it is presented to you as. Because it looks like there's some people who are coming for the jugular on you. I want to point out that we've got the Tower card at the bottom of the deck here, and it's followed by the 2 of Wands. There are decisions that are going to be needed to be made by you coming up. But you're so much bigger than this situation. You're so much bigger than whatever petty squabbles this person here, or maybe these people are trying to bring to your door, and it's important that you remember that and act accordingly. New style, Sag, because it's not going to be an issue for too long. We've got the World at the bottom of the deck here. There is something coming to completion. It's coming to an end, and it's almost like that last bit of tension before something pops, you know, before it explodes. Try and find it in yourself to see the bigger picture, see what sits behind it. Now, I know that we don't like to look for the nuances and stuff like that, and you shouldn't have to, but it feels like the personal people that you're dealing with don't really deal with emotions on the level that you currently are doing. And this could blow up into something much, much bigger if you let your tongue get away with you. Tell me about the Small Swords. Thank you. Yeah, I've got the Death card there. So, got the Two of Cups at the bottom of this deck. We've now got the Magician, and the World at the bottom of this deck. And we've got the Death card here, right? Something's coming to completion, something's trying to end, something is trying to be transformed, and it's for you, Sag, to show up differently to how you have done before. I'm not saying be nice to them, because frankly, by the look of this, they don't really deserve that, but hold your tongue a little bit. And if you can find it within yourself to be able to practice compassionate detachment, then I think you'll get the best out of this situation, because frankly, whatever this is, it doesn't feel like it needs to be part of your life for very much longer, you know, in whatever sense that applies. Certainly it's going to be changing, right? Very interesting. So I'm going to leave it there. I hope that this made sense and whatnot. Know that I love you all very, very much, and I will see you soon.